Hey folks, all right, we're talking about emotion versus logic dominant individuals here. In the last video, emotion dominant individuals like myself, we are highly motivated and we're always going a mile a minute, but we're lacking the information on really where to go. It's kind of like guy with a jetpack on. The emotion and psychological aspects of fitness are the actual thrust and the motive and the momentum going forward. The logic side is actually knowing the route you need to travel and being able to control it so you actually get to where you want to go. Today we're talking logic dominant individuals. What are the strengths and what are the weaknesses? Well, for logic dominant individuals, highly technical and very well knowledge. So if you go into an individual like this, you see like their bookshelf has got tons of books on the subject. Exercise and diet and everything there is to know, and they know every muscle in the body in like 3 different languages. They're attending seminars and they're always online looking at forums and so on. So always learning, voracious readers, very, very good to consume a lot of information in this regard. Knowing a lot about a specialty is typically they know a lot about one thing like diet or exercise or a particular diet and so on. Here's the thing that is holding them back. Just as the emotional based individual believes that they'll get what they want just if they can work hard enough and take enough action, the logic-based individual believes that they'll get what they want if they can just know the right information and figure it out. And sometimes this is driven by what I call the do it right idea. It's like I want to know for sure I'm eating right. I know for sure I'm doing the right program and I'm doing this correctly and so on. I often hear the words of, I just need to find the right program. I just need to find the right diet and so on. And I call this the fairy tale ending because it's this idea that there's this mythical program or something out there that once people find it, they're just gonna run off into the sunset and live happily ever after, which is a complete myth. Just as with the emotional based guys like me thinking, well, if I could just work hard enough, sooner or later it's gonna work, right? No, this is the same thing as if I could just learn the right information, I'll cross some mythical line and suddenly it works. It doesn't work that way. So what's needed here? What is the shortcoming? Well, we're not taking action is the big thing. And I was reading this book, J.D. Roth, Biggest Loser guy, he does all these shows, and he was saying a lot of the contestants on these shows, what's going on is it's an emotional or psychological barrier that's holding them back. It's not knowing what to do. They know the best diet. They know everything there is to know about sugar and metabolism. They know everything about calorie balance and the science behind it. But that's not nearly enough because they know the route to take, but they're still just sitting there. Of course, in these shows, these individuals are extreme examples. They come from histories of abuse, they've had a traumatic thing in their life, broken home, whatever it is. So for whatever reason, they've got a subconscious thing telling them, don't take the actions that you know you need to take. And in the book, J.D. Roth was talking about once you identify what these are and take care of them, then you immediately just take action. It's really not that hard to take action to be in shape. So that's what's needed for the logic-based individual. Introspection. I'm not saying you need to like go to a shrink and have your life analyzed. It could be something as simple as just sitting down and writing out for a few minutes like, okay, why am I not taking action? Maybe you're just looking for the do it right thing. Maybe I just took care of it for you right there, that there's no fairy tale ending. Like, oh, well, just go. It could be that. Maybe you grew up in a house of people who made fun of people who were lean or fit or strong. Like, you know, all those bodybuilders are all juiced up, I'm a bodybuilder. Like that whole Planet Fitness ad, you know, I picked them up and put them down kind of thing. If that's what you're telling yourself is the type of person that's big and strong, you've subconsciously programmed yourself, don't do those things because you don't want to be the dumb idiot bodybuilder. But if you look at that and you're like, no, but it's not true and stuff, and you reprogram it, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go and get my pull-ups on or something. It gets a heck of a lot easier. The reason why I'm bringing these videos up here is because here at the Red Delta Project, our main mission is to make fitness cheap. Very, very efficient, because my belief is the biggest reason why we're not getting in shape is we made fitness way too expensive. If you have a dominance in one of these things, you are wasting huge amounts of resources. So if you're emotion dominant like me, you're working your ass off, you're spending way too much time, way too much money, and way too much energy. And the reason why you're doing this is because you think you need to, because you don't know really what you're doing. My workouts used to be 3 hours long. Why? Because I thought I needed that much because I really didn't know what I was doing. Now that I know better, my workouts are maybe 20 minutes. And I'm in better shape for it because I learned this up, so I brought it back out a little bit. If you're a logic dominant individual, you're wasting your time, money, and energy learning a whole lot. Really, you don't need to learn a lot in order to be in shape. So when we're balanced in this, fitness becomes very cheap. It takes a fraction of the time, money, energy, and so on. But when we're dominant in one of these, what ends up happening is we pile resources into maximizing whichever one we have a dominance in, but it's the other one that's actually holding back our results. Let me know if you have questions on this. Down below, reddeltaproject@gmail.com is my email if you want to talk to me privately on this sort of stuff. Till then, be fit, live free.